All right. So first and foremost, man, thank you so much for your time, of course.
Thank you.
And this is with Mad Boxing. That's the name of my channel. First and foremost, this is a little bit of a different thing because now you're kind of the center of attention, right? Even though you've kind of been around it. Is there anything specifically that you're doing differently that kind of keep you grounded? Because it's really easy to get super excited around time like this, right? Anything in particular you're doing to kind of keep yourself grounded?
No, I'm just keeping my relationship strong with God. You know, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. You know, I'm going to church every Sunday. I'm praying every day, every night before I go to sleep, and that's what keeps me grounded. My faith in the Lord, and I know that He's got favor over my life, and He'll take care of me.
Right on. There have been a lot of throughout boxing history, father-son, trainer, fighter type relationships, right? For the most part, it seems like it works out fine, but there's a couple of times where things get kind of ugly. Even between family members, they can get pretty bad. Is there anything in particular you guys are doing to make sure that it doesn't get to that degree? I know you're young, he's your dad, right? And you don't want to ever step on them right to the degree where you disrespect them. But what's the balance that you guys keep to make sure that it doesn't get like those other situations where it gets bad between the father and the son?
No, well, the balance that I have with my father is that he's humble. My father's always willing to learn. So if he needs help, he needs anything, he knows it. I don't even have to tell him. He knows that himself. And the difference is that here at the gym, he's my trainer, and I'm his student. I'm his fighter, and back at home, he's my father. So we know how to measure it, how to take care of it, and we have a great relationship.
Is your dad the kind that could, like, let's say in the future, potentially say, all right, I've taken him as far as I can take him. I'm going to have to hand him off to someone else to take him to the next level. It seems like a lot of fathers in boxing don't want to do that. Specifically Teofimo, everybody's telling Teofimo Lopez, yo, you might want to step away from your pops, take us to the next level kind of thing. Do you think your dad is the kind that will understand that and say, okay, I've taken him as far as I can go, I got to hand him off to somebody else?
No, my dad, he definitely is the type. He'll learn. He's always willing to learn. He says the day you stop learning is the day you die. So he's always willing to learn. If he needs help, if I need help, he knows it. And but he's teaching me so much. I've gotten to this far because of him. And I've already been surrounded with so many great fighters that have also taught me things. Now I have my promoter, Oscar De La Hoya, who could guide me as well. He's mentoring me, and he's gonna help me out all the way to the top. So I'm blessed, and I know I'll be good.
All right. So in regards to Oscar De La Hoya, sometimes he puts some stuff on his social media, man, that you're just like, what is this guy thinking? Did that ever cross your mind when you decided to actually sign with him? Like, he seems to be having sometimes problems with some of his fighters like Ryan and now Virgil, right? Did that ever cross your mind as a possibility to any degree, or was that a factor at all when signing with him?
Never crossed my mind, because that's outside noise. That's not my business with him. That's his business with other fighters. And all I know is that I'm grateful for him. It's a big promotion, Golden Boy. Oscar De La Hoya is one of the best promoters there is in the sport. He made Ryan Garcia, he made Canelo, even if you think he didn't. And I'm grateful for him, and I'm ready to learn everything he's got planned for my career, and I'm thankful for him.
Okay, right on. How often do you talk to Oscar?
Every day.
Okay.
Me and Oscar talk every day. He comes to see me spar, comes to see me train. Just yesterday we went together to go get some lunch, to go do interviews. So our relationship is growing, and I'm really excited to see how far it'll get to.
Oscar has been great at bringing up Latino fighters, right, to that point. Without jumping too far ahead, like how far do you think you can get in this thing? Like, how far do you think can you be the next possible superstar, we'll also say the next cash cow for Oscar?
No, it's not that I can be, it's I will be. All the work since I was a little kid, if I don't have that faith in myself that I'm not gonna make it, that I'm gonna make it, then what am I doing? Why am I in the sport? Why do I work so hard? I believe I could be one of the best fighters in the world, and I will be, God willing.
Okay, right on. One last message to all your fans, man. What do you expect to see on the April 11th?
Thank you all for the support. Be ready for explosive young fighter, entertainer, future superstar. Thank you all for the love.
Dylan, Amenaza, Capetillo, thanks so much for your time, bro.
Thank you so much.